I have an Eastern Orthodox friend that says Peter was Bishop of Antioch. Is there any truth behind this?
Absolutely. Peter was Bishop of Antioch, and then he went to Rome. He sent St. Mark to Alexandria, and that's why we say the three oldest sees are Antioch, Rome, and Alexandria. But the papacy stayed with Rome, not Antioch. The proof of the pudding that Antioch never claimed the primacy, and Rome did. Later, Constantinople, in token of the fact that the emperor was living there, became a patriarchate. And then last but not least, it was considered that due to being the location where all the fun stuff had happened, Jerusalem should be a patriarchate. So there were 5. And this was called the Pentarchy.
Okay.
They were all considered to be an apostolic foundation. St. Andrew being considered to be the founder of Constantinople, and St. James the Less of Jerusalem.
Okay. I actually knew the answer to this question beforehand. Do you know how I knew?
How?
I read your book.
Oh.
Vicars of Christ. History of the Popes. Right? First chapter, St. Peter. Right there. So that's how I knew. Benjamin Cruz.
You'll find a lot about the popes in there.
Important book. It's not a conventional read because you go through each pope, and so it's not. Well, but it is thematic. It is thematic, and there are very important things. I actually read it like a normal book.
No.
And one of the interesting things that you pick up from reading it like a normal book is that there are themes to the crises.
Yeah.
And the church, and there's never really a time where it's like, oh gosh, the church was really, it had no problems during this time. The history of the church is the history from one crisis to the next.
Leaping from one to the other.
Oh, early Christian martyrs. Oh, and then Arian heresy, and then oh gosh, we're done with the Arian heresy now.
Now what's going to get us?
The schism, and then the patronage, or the what would you call it? Where the corruption,
the pornocracy.
The pornocracy, and then the Reformation. And then the Enlightenment. It just doesn't end. It doesn't stop.
It doesn't. I think probably the most peaceful time was the reign of Benedict XIV in the 18th century.
Okay.
And so we could just isolate those 7 years out of all the church's history. Then we could all be happy.
Yeah, there it is.
He'd look a little confused. Who are all of you people? Where you come from? You every age, every time. What? Well, we've all decided, Holy Father, that yours was the best pontificate, so we're all going to live in it now.
There you go. But this, because there's a sentiment where it's like, oh, we're living in terrible times. It's never been, we've never lived in times this bad. But if you see that's why your book exists to show you that's not correct.
No,
at all.
I mean it doesn't mean we don't live in terrible times, but. Terrible times, at least for some Catholics somewhere, have been the steady thing always. And very often it's been for most Catholics in most places. So,
I mean, you look at other situations, and to me, there's a lot of things to be grateful for. We have regular access to the sacraments and to Mass.
We do.
Not all Catholics, not all periods of history can say that.
No, and we've got regular access to food.
Regular access to food, yeah, absolutely.
Without being arrested, without being beaten or tortured.
Yeah. So, there's a lot of terrible things, but also we need to find things that I feel to be grateful for.
Yeah, definitely. Calm us down.